Hello everyone and welcome to Dutch Greybeard. For this monthly wrap-up I cheated a little bit because the last book I finished reading today on August 4. But I really wanted to include it in this video, which will be a nice short one again. Just as in June, July was clouded by family matters and its aftermath. Again, I read only 4 books, but they are tomes. I also read 1 short story. My total page count of the month is 2,772. The first book I read was the 9th volume of The Wheel of Time, Winter's Heart by Robert Jordan. This book has 621 pages. I started reading it on the 1st of the month and finished it on the 12th. I'm hoping to make a separate video on my Wheel of Time journey so far very soon. For now, I'll say that I enjoyed this one much better than Book 8, The Path of Daggers. I gave this book a 4.5 stars out of 5. Then I finally got around to reading Brandon Sanderson. I read his Mistborn series, Era 1. First off, The Final Empire, which has 643 pages. I began reading this book on the 12th of July and finished it on the 20th. Absolutely loved it. I did a separate video on this book as this was my very first time reading Brandon Sanderson, the much anticipated author. This book I gave 4.5 stars out of 5. I then read The 11th Metal, a short story of 21 pages. I'm not a big fan of short stories and I don't really know how to rate them. But it was nice to see some of Calcia with his strange teacher, Gemmel. The Well of Ascension is the second Mistborn book. It is 763 pages long and I started reading this one on the 21st and finished it on July 28. Absolutely loved it, but it didn't beat The Final Empire. It is much slower paced, and I found that the siege of the city of Lutherdel by 3 different armies somewhat of a side path in the story. That is mainly why I rated this one 4 stars out of 5. And today, finally, I finished number 3, The Hero of Ages. It is 724 pages, and I started reading it on July 28. Although the ending is phenomenal, I'm not quite sure if I have been Sanderlanched already. Perhaps this has been hyped so much by various booktubers that my anticipation of this has become unrealistic. But Sanderlanched or not, this book is simply amazing. Still, Sanderson's writing style remains somewhat bland to me, but the story and the way he tells it deserves high praise. Finally, I can hand out a full 5 stars out of 5 again. I hope to do a full review on the first Mistborn trilogy very soon. So there it is, 4 books in my 7th month of being a fantasy reader. July was a month of big books, so in August I just might try some smaller ones. Perhaps I'll start with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I have not read that one, can you imagine? We'll see. I don't like planning too far ahead as to what I'm going to read. One book I will definitely be reading is Crossroads of Twilight, number 10 in the Wheel of Time. This is the one I dread a little bit going to, because it's been stamped as the slog by so many readers. I also experienced that a little bit with The Path of Daggers. Someone suggested that I just read the synopsis and move on to Knife of Dreams. But that is simply unthinkable for me as a reader. A lesser Wheel of Time book still is a very good book, no doubt. Thank you for watching this short video. Until we meet again at Dutch Greybeard.